Silly question for you. Have you been to Ridgely? You know, up in Caroline County. It is a beautiful little town, and it's got a beautiful nickname too, Dream City.
I lived near there. I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
There's got to be a story behind that. But wait a minute. It's Throwback Thursday, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Here to tell us there's more, of course, is the man, Jim Duffy, Secrets of the Eastern Shore, our Delmarva history man.
Yeah.
So you got to reveal to us.
Oh, yeah.
What's
Dream City.
Dream City. What's that all
Here's
about?
the deal. The story of Ridgely is kind of like the story of life. Let me run this by you. You have a dream. You think, I'm going to be this, I'm going to do this. You get going, you hit a roadblock, you get a setback, you fall down, you get up, you take a little detour this way and then that way, and you end up in a place that's really not the dream you started with, but is still kind of a dream, and everything is a-okay.
Okay.
Right? Is that like how life worked out for you?
Sure,
Yeah,
sure.
Not exactly as
absolutely.
planned.
Not exactly as planned.
So as far as Ridgely,
That's pretty much
yeah.
what happened with Ridgely. You can see the plan for Ridgely when you turn into town on that main street, Central Avenue. Because it is, now I'm not talking about highways, we'll forget about that, but when you're talking about a main street going into a town, it is the widest main street in all of Delmarva. There's like angle parking on both sides. When you're in the pedestrian crosswalk, you're like, oh my God, am I ever going to get to the other side? Right. So that dream of the big wide boulevards and a big city took shape in 1867 when the railroad went through. There was nothing there except farmland. And a whole bunch of people got dollar signs in their eyes when the railroad was coming through. And three guys from Philadelphia bought up a bunch of land from a preacher named Greenbury Ridgely.
Oh,
The name of the town.
okay.
That's right there. So they bought it all up from him, and they hired this guy named J.J. Sickler to design a town. Now, he designed a town that was going to be more like Dover and Salisbury than like Chestertown and Easton. It went from the railroad line, which is where Ridgely is today, all the way over to the Choptank River, which is where Ridgely is nowhere even close to
Oh, wow,
today.
Right.
okay.
So he was going to join this like maritime world on the river with the railroad world over here, and in between these wide boulevards and everything like that. And he did the entire plan. They came down, they built like a little hotel so that everybody could come and buy land from him, and nobody showed up.
Nobody.
Uh-oh.
They got off to one of those really bad starts with their dream. There's a wonderful historic marker in Ridgely. It says there was, for the first 5 years, there was nothing but sedgegrass, bony mules, and malarial chills.
Not quite the
work out.
brochure.
Didn't work out. Yeah. It was basically a train station and a couple other buildings. And then slowly but surely things happened. Like the train station is a crazy story if you go to Ridgely, because at the very beginning when things started actually moving, there were like 3 things happening inside the train station. It was all the commerce from the farmland, somebody opened a store in it, and they had school in it. Everything happened in that.
In the train
So
station.
eventually, people started building some houses and some businesses came in, and eventually Ridgely got to be like the strawberry capital. In 1912, they had like 16 manufacturing plants, and slowly but surely it settled into the Ridgely it is today.
But it never made it to the Choptank River.
Never even got close to the Choptank River.
Not the metropolis
But
that
that's
they
it.
dreamed of.
Yeah. So when you drive down Central Avenue, think about, wow.
Yeah.
You
It
get a
is
dream,
wide.
you take some turns, and you end up in a place that's great. Ridgely's a beautiful little town.
I think we should still call it the Dream City.
There you go.
Thank you so
They're
much.
doing a new park, and it's going to be called Dream City Park.
Oh, really?
That's how this whole thing started. I'm like, oh wait, why is it Dream City? Yeah, they're having a grand opening right before Thanksgiving, November 22nd or something.
Oh.
Yeah, there's a
How
little
about that?
playground for kids, and it's going to be called Dream City Park.
I love it. Thank you so much, Jim Duffy, Secrets of the Eastern Shore. We'll see you next week.
Thanks for having me.